It's been a fun day.
Look what I bought. Do you have one of these?
I don't know. I'm a man. I don't carry around
these little tripods. This particular one is incredible. Look at, you just push this button. It's nice.
Yeah, I've seen that. I think Peak Design has some cool stuff like that. And then there's also who is it? Who's the one that makes the super low one? This guy. Platypod. Got one of these guys.
Yeah.
I like that one.
I gotta mute.
All right. So, okay. All right. First things, we were talking about Lifetouch and Photoday. The
what?
bomb.
What happened?
The bomb that went off. I mean, yeah. I was, you know where I was this morning?
I don't want to know.
Let me tell you. I was watching my pool being dug. My pool was being dug. My new pool, my new house. And you know what? It's because of all the money I made with Photoday.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Well, it is what it is. It's the truth. Like we're doing so much better with the platform. I mean, we are, and there's numerous reasons why. But anyways, first of all, I haven't even read any Facebook posts because I've been busy all day. We've been working.
No, it's exhausting. It will drive you mad.
Yeah.
It will drive you crazy.
I haven't even been able to read it. I've got a lot of text messages, a lot of Facebook messages. Haven't really responded. I was like, we'll just go do this, and that'll help respond to everybody. But
I woke up with my phone blown up. Like I didn't even want to look at it. I mean, I was up. I was up till 3 a.m. editing, and I got like 4 hours of sleep last night, and I woke up, and it was the first thing on my phone, and I was like, oh my god, no way.
Look at that.
Oh, Jody,
Jody's there.
What's up?
There. She's there.
It looks like we got Paul Duke in the house. Dan
got
Burgess.
Paul. Yep.
Awesome.
So, anyways, look at, I guess, drop the mic. There we go, Dan. That's right.
Yeah.
The thing is first of all, there's some straight up lies from former Photoday users, and everybody knows who it is. Anybody who's been around Photoday for a while, that Photoday got bought and acquired. That's just a bunch of BS. And it's like, come on, it's just so annoying. First of all, Photoday has not been acquired. Okay. They've not been acquired. They've not been bought. The only thing that happened is Lifetouch is using the platform. And if you're here sitting here, what is Lifetouch, like a $1 billion company or whatever, or they do hundreds of millions of dollars a year. If you don't think that company checked out every other platform and decided to use Photoday, you're crazy. They checked them all out. And you just tell me that Got Photo, the Canon Color Systems, Lifetouch came to them like, hey, I want to use their platform. They're like, no, we couldn't do that. That's so ridiculous and naive if you think that's the case, because I don't have proof, but come on. They're the biggest studio out there. You don't think that those guys do their due diligence and find out what platform they like to use? And it's a trial thing. We
just want them to go away. And it's sometimes it feels like if you help the big dog and you're the little guy, it's frustrating, right? So, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say I haven't gone back and forth on this. Listen, I'm never leaving Photoday. I'll tell you what, the only reason I would leave Photoday ever in the history of my life is if that Lifetouch logo was the logo for it. And okay. I would never give my money to Lifetouch. I'd be so upset if they sold to them, right? Because I do nothing but tell my clients in my small community all day long that I'm not using your information for evil, right? So any information I might collect from my clients, I use that as a selling point that I am not Lifetouch and I don't sell your information, right? But so if I ever had to try to explain to them, sorry, I didn't know this was going to happen, I would lose my shit. I would lose it. Right. Yeah. So without knowing any details, obviously everybody thinks we're trailblazers and we should know everything so I'm going to continue to use Photoday just because it works for my business. Everybody has tools to do their job. Photoday is my tool to do my job and to do it well. I will say I liked the fact that it helped me compete with Photoday or with Lifetouch, but let's be honest. Am I really competing with Lifetouch at the end of the day? Because they are $1 billion company? No. And if I lose a school, if I lose a job to Lifetouch, then I probably need to do a little soul searching. Did I put 100% of my effort into something and then lose it to somebody who doesn't give a shit? I doubt it. It's probably something I wasn't doing, right? I mean, I shoot a lot of different genres, a lot of different things. I'm not like all of the volume guys. I do a lot of different stuff. I shoot volume real estate, for crying out loud. People might not know that, but I shoot for 30 realtors in the Pacific Northwest on top of shooting 14 to 16,000 portraits a year. I'm not exaggerating my numbers. That's about what my average is. So, I do a little bit of everything. Would I be pissed if Lifetouch came in and said, look, we use Photoday like Justin does. Can we have you back? Yeah, I'd be pissed. But I probably did something to lose that school in the first place. Because I worked really hard to get them,
Well, and going back to your point too, is like, okay, they're a gigantic company. Do you not think there was some sort of non-disclosure agreement that probably happened? Like, I'm sure that Photoday can't go out and just tell everybody what the operation of Lifetouch is, right? I mean, come on.
Right.
Like, these are big companies. Like, anytime I've had to deal with any big company with anything, you have to sign non-disclosure agreement. So, I mean, yes, I wish that they would have came out with it better. I feel like the only thing that Photoday can apologize for is the way it came out, right?
Yeah.
Like, it would have been better if they would have been a little bit up front. People still been mad. Wouldn't have mattered. But maybe it sounds better by being in front of it. It's kind of like you kind of got caught cheating. That's the way people feel.
You got to rip the Band-Aid off,
Right.
I mean,
but they don't know like what, who knows if they had my thought is, well, maybe they can't say anything, and if that's the case, then it's kind of stuck in a rock and a hard place, and it's going to be people going to find out the hard way, but yeah, I mean, that's, the way I kind of feel about it. And the other thing is, quite frankly, for me, I'm not talking for any other school photographer, whatever. I don't give a damn because they are not my competition. Like they are, it is going to affect my business zero, right? Zero. It's not going to affect me at all. And, Lifetouch did try to take some leagues back in the day, but they couldn't do it. They couldn't, come on. They have to hire so many photographers. Are you saying one teenage kid is going to come out to my leagues and is going to outshoot me? Like I said, if that's the case, then there's some other issues. I feel like photographic quality number one is like an insulation to our business. It's like guarantees leagues year after year. And yes, I do have leagues that league now because I have my own Lifetouch in my territory. I have a sports photography company that they're bigger than us and they offer ridiculous rebates. And we came into the industry having to deal with two gigantic companies that had I was 100% broke, and we had to deal with those companies, and they were the Lifetouch of what I do. And so I've been dealing with that for 14 years. Matter of fact, let me show you something. Let me see if I can share my screen real quick. You're gonna flip out when you see this. All right.
Well, take that though. So that's what I was talking to you earlier today about. I mean, obviously we've texted back and forth today a little bit. We're gonna talk about this, but I would never have expected you to understand why the little guys would be so upset with Lifetouch because you haven't had to battle them specifically. It's such a bad word in our industry to be even
I've had to battle
associated. I know, but not like it took me 11 years to get a school once that Lifetouch had, and I finally got it. And if I lose that school because of some stupid reason, I'd freak out. I'd be pissed. If I lost it because they had the same 90738 code to text as I do, I would lose my shit. But at the end of the day, it's probably something I did wrong anyway. I mean, honest to God, but it would still piss me off.
Right. Okay. So somebody's asking about data mining. All right. This is the thing. What are you talking about? Nobody's bought anything. Like we're like jumping to conclusions. Like they're a user. Like it would just be like me going and data mine. I can't access their information, so there's no point in like going and like and going and saying what's going to happen. That hasn't even happened. The only thing that's happened is Lifetouch is a user, so there's no data mining, none of that stuff going on. Like they haven't,
Well, and I loved Lisa and Rainer and their latest comments. I mean, I don't know if anybody's read them on the users group, but they just finally posted today to give their explanations, which I thought were really heartfelt and good. And I do trust them as owners not to throw us under the bus into the wolves. I do, I'm not going to not say that. So Am I disappointed in how it was handled? Absolutely. You don't want to hear about it from a user just randomly who got an email that says, "Hey, text the number I use too." I can totally understand the wildfire that created. I can, because we didn't know about it. But at the same time, I mean, there's a caveat to that. We use it as a tool in our business. And since day one, when I started with Photo Day, one of my biggest things was, I hope the other photographers in my town don't start using this too.
Right.
And then to hear that the big monster has it, then that would set me free, not knowing anything. Right.
Well, that's the first conversation I had with Lisa that I can remember. I was like, well, what kind of exclusivity can I get if I switch over to you? And she said, you can't.
None. Yeah.
She said none. Yeah. I mean, she said none. That's what she said straight out of the gate. They never promised me any sort of exclusivity whatsoever. Even like, I didn't become like the director of education or help Photo Day till 2 years into using the platform. Right. Yeah. So I was just a user, but we got really successful. We figured out tips and tricks that were awesome. And it enabled us to leverage our photographic skills to make the most money, and it's a win-win for everybody. It's not just like we're making all this money, but our customers are getting more to choose from. The leagues don't have to pass out photos. It's just a really easy process for everybody. So it's a win-win all around. We provide a good service, and Lifetouch can't touch us. They just can't. So that's but I'm not trying to be insensitive to people who might be affected by Lifetouch, but I guarantee you, if they are affected by Lifetouch, it's because that Lifetouch, they probably have a really good relationship. There are some good Lifetouch reps out there, like you said, right? Some in your territory.
It was part of a meeting I had with one of the schools when I finally got it. Was their first words, their first comments when we sat down. Literally, the first comment out of the gentleman's mouth was, "We really love our Lifetouch representative, and we've loved her for years." And immediately I went in, kind of defensively after that, right? So, because you don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that they actually do good at some things. God forbid, because their pictures, for the most part, are so bad.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's, well, I mean, I can't tell you, like, just tonight. Okay. Just tonight. I shot jujitsu, right? Let me see. I'll show you a photo. And a few years ago, I got two things to share with you. A few years ago, I shot this jujitsu, and I went to see the owner, and we didn't hear from him last year. So I just figured COVID might've got the gym. Right. So when I walked in, he was like, "Yeah, there was a photographer here, and everybody convinced me to use this photographer, even though we did an awesome job." Right. Awesome job. They went and hired another photographer. So stuff like that happens, you know what I'm saying? And it's just, and there's not much you can do about it. It's competition, and it fires me up. So, I mean, these are the photos. I mean, I did that for them tonight, and they look awesome. And I lost the job after doing stuff like that. I mean, it can happen, but I always get them back, though. That's the thing. Once they figure it out, like, for whatever reason, the photographer didn't promise something, or, they got a big rebate, they always come back because parents bitch and complain. But anyway, let me show you what I was going to show you. Let's see here. Let me find it. Where is it? I have.
Did you use a spray cans, or did you use a haze machine?
I use the spray cans.
Yeah.
Sorry, my speakers are really messing up, so that's why I keep going off screen. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. So, all right, this is what I deal with. This is a smaller league. All right. So the rebates aren't as high. So this is my sportography. I redact it. So you don't see who the league is, right? So this is what I deal with. A free 6x8 plaque for each coach. Each coach, 6x8 plaque, right? 2 free buttons in 5 days. The rebate is 30%, right? 30%. I mean, 25% still great. If less than 175 purchases, 20%, right? Direct mail, all photos. What else? Superior customer service. I like that. Phones. And I think they have something in here. They had something here, I think, as part of the redacted. They have a $9 package.
You can't even read it. There's so much crap on it, hardly.
Yeah.
Like, it's so messy.
Part of the redacted part is $9 packages. Okay. All right. So also, this particular company, they called my wife and told Karina that I was having an affair with somebody and that person had AIDS.
Jesus.
Yeah, I'm not lying to you. They called us at 3:00 in the morning. I mean, it was just like every Saturday, 3:00 in the morning, just keep calling. That was like back when we had teenagers, and so I was answering the phone, and it was just
because you never know. Yeah,
you're right. So like, I've dealt with some really dirty stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I'm continuing. I mean, you see the crap that we have to deal with. We're not giving 35. Who gives 30% rebates, free plaques, free this, the boards, the coaches? I mean, come on. What are you making at the end of that?
And I had made a comment today about that. Like, I won't play that game ever again. I will never do it. It doesn't matter if it was Lifetouch or anybody. I just won't play that game. They're just not my client at that point. If they want that much,
they're just not the client. And the thing is like, if they want to go do that because they're being offered all the money in the world, go ahead. But the photographic quality is going to go down. And sure enough, they'll end up coming back to us, and we've literally picked up 3 leagues this week from that particular photographer passing out that kind of BS. So I don't deal with Lifetouch, but I deal with a company that's very similar to it. So I feel like I know I can handle it. And yes, it pisses me off when every league that I lose, I'm pissed off.
Yeah.
But I just feel like it just fires me up. All it does is fire me up. If I lose a league, I'm going to go get 3. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's the kind of the way I feel about it. I'm not going to go and just feel terrible and just go sulk about it and just whine and cry about all the rebates and stuff. The only thing you can do is just take better photos, build better relationships, and offer better customer service. And you're gonna be busy, and we're as busy as we can be. So I mean, yeah. So I mean,
I don't think I could physically do more. We've chatted about that. Every business hits a ceiling when you're doing it right, and we're at one right now. We're at another one. I don't want to necessarily grow, and we picked up a whole nother. I picked up a whole another district this year that I have for next year that I didn't even expect. It literally came out of nowhere. So
see that. I do.
Jay shoots better pissed off.
I do some great photos when I'm pissed.
I work better when I'm mad, no matter what. Like I can get a lot done when I'm angry.
I mean, it's no secret. Like, isn't that what Jordan did all the time? It's like what every sports team does. If somebody insults you, you put it up on the, what do they call it?
On the jumbotron.
On the board, like the locker room. They put it up on their little board or whatever to help motivate. If you're feeling slighted in some way, use it as motivation. I'm not going to, the only thing that worries me, like you said, you didn't want to, you wouldn't use it if there was an LT logo. My thing is my fear is not being able to use Photoday because it's so part of our process now. I don't want it to ever go away.
Right.
I was thinking about it. I was like, what would I switch to? Cause we have lab, I have backup everything, right? You got backup labs, backup shipping, backup everything, right? If you're a photographer, you have backups.
You don't have a backup photo day.
I don't. And what the hell would I do? I mean, I can go try to build my own thing. I know a couple of photographers that do their own thing and they think it's the best thing that, ever, but I don't. I'm not an IT guy. I want to go take photos. I don't.
That's not where I want to spend my time. That's not what I want to spend my time doing. You're 100%. And
I don't want to print my own photos.
I thought I wanted to once, and then I bought some printers and ran out of ink, and I didn't want to buy more ink.
I thought I wanted to too. I had the Naritsu salesperson come to my house, and after he left, Kareem's like, "I'll divorce you if you make me."
If you do that, we're done.
Yeah, I was like, man, it's gonna save us like it was at the time. I think our lab bill was like, I don't know, $90,000 a year, and so I was like, we could hire somebody for $60,000 a year, and we would be saving $30,000 a year. You know what I mean? That's what my thought process was. But there's just that wasn't going to work out in this process. Like literally, I think there's so many factors, but we have grown. That's one thing. Leagues are getting a little bit bigger, but like I feel that digital photo sales and not being taxed in certain instances where we're not supposed to pay taxes, like there's been more money going into my bank using Photoday, and it makes me, really happy. So
that's why you're watching a guy dig a pool. He couldn't cut a cake with that excavator like I can, but he'd probably dig a hole.
So Justin's girl posted a Photoday post about him. Justin, he cut a birthday cake with an excavator. So they tied a knife to the end of the little hook.
See,
right?
I got other shit I could do. I'll be fine if Lifetouch.
Yeah, I mean, he cut a cake with it. I wasn't that impressed though.
But I don't want to. I don't want to do that stuff. I want to take pictures. I want it to be easy, and I like Photo Day is an easy button for me. And man, the
let's see. We have a
pitchforks
good
came out
question
today.
here. Let's see. How Lifetouch used Photo Day behind protecting their schools from photographers that use the platform. What extremes can Lifetouch take this platform? I don't know.
See, those are the unknowns, and those are where the people come out of the woodwork wanting to know, right? Because you get a little taste of what if, and then your imagination and mind can run any direction after that, and it always goes to the bad immediately. That's just kind of human nature. I mean, the proof that Photo Day works is how angry everyone got today, right? That's proof that what we have and what we're using is a very good product, period.
Right.
I think Jim also said that earlier, like look who they chose. They chose to use Photo Day over everyone else right now. There's a reason for that. And I mean, that touched home a little bit. I saw that and was like, yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good answer, really.
Correct. I just don't know. I don't think there is a platform out there. There's not a platform out there that at the biggest studio in the country came and said, hey, we want to try out your platform, that they would say no. And I don't think there's a photographer out there that was approached by Lifetouch and it was like, I'm going to give you X amount of dollars for your studio, that they would say no. That's what I think.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's, capitalism, right? I mean,
yeah,
love it or hate it, that's the reality of it. And I mean, I had this chat with Emily a couple times today, and we even probably don't see eye to eye necessarily on everything, especially when it comes to that. But at the end of the day, if I could walk with money in my pocket, I'd probably do that and give back in different ways. I had that conversation with a person earlier today on Facebook, one of many. But listen, I'll give money back to leagues and people that need it. I went and took pictures of a volleyball team with 7 girls on it, and two of them had T-shirts with duct tape for numbers, and I gave them $600 to go buy new uniforms. I didn't make $150 on the whole shoot, so I lost a lot of money doing that, but I felt better. Those girls feel better even to this day. That was like a few years ago. Those uniforms still hold up, but they didn't have the funding to buy the girls uniforms for their team. And I saw that, and I'm 100% down with helping out and when it's needed. My point to everything earlier today when I was talking about Lifetouch giving schools money is I don't like people asking for handouts when they don't necessarily need it and then using that against me in my business. That pisses me off, because when I give money back, it's because I know it's helping, right? So, and I don't think Lifetouch gives a shit about that stuff. I mean,
no, they don't. Lifetouch is not going to, I mean, they're just sending out an hourly employee, right?
Yeah.
So I just don't think that they can. I don't have high schools. We have some high school football programs, and we actually had one program that they brought their attorney in, the Booster Club did, so we could take the photos. They went like extreme with one of the big companies. They're like, we are using the smacks. Like and I feel like, they're not going to do that for Lifetouch. Lifetouch isn't going to have the personal touch. They might have a good rep, but the rep is good, but they still have to send an hourly wage photographer out there that does not have any skill. If they did, they wouldn't be working for Lifetouch.
Right.
So there's no way they're going to beat us. I mean, I don't feel like that they can. And if I did have a high school, I feel like I would. We contemplated it one time. That's why I got my studio. And then the principal left. So I was like, well, that didn't work. You know what I mean? I had but anyways, we would end up having to give them a lot of attention, on everything. We'd be really good at action photos. We'd be really good at sports photos. I'd be as good as I can in areas where I know Lifetouch can't compete. Maybe the student, just the regular photos, those, maybe we're not that much better than them because it's kind of a standard thing, but I'm going to beat them in all other aspects of that school where they can't touch me. So that's how I would approach it if I wanted to go after a school, but I just don't need to go after schools. We're just doing sports and we're just fine in that space, but it makes me believe in the Boat Right Boot Camp even more as well, because we're teaching photographers how to be actual photographers. And if you can, I know that what we do, outdoor photography and, in gyms or whatever, but more outdoor photography and making the outdoor photography look good no matter the conditions. is pretty much the hardest thing that you can do in this genre. That's the hardest. And if you can learn that piece, then you can do all the other stuff. The other stuff is going to be pretty easy. And there's not going to be a Lifetouch employee that's going to know how to, when the cloud comes overhead, what do they do with the lights? If the sun's out, or they're just not going to know. What if the battery goes out? They don't have the skill set yet developed for that. And so that's why I feel like learning to be an actual photographer and developing your photography skills is going to help insulate your business, help make sure that you have repeat customers year after year. And if you have a customer or two leave, they're always going to come back, because there's not going to be, there's not going to be a big company out there like that, giving those big rebates, is going to be able to afford to hire really good photographers, right? They just can't. There's only, that company, they're saying they sell $9 packages. $9, like
packages. So
their average order is probably $12.
Yeah.
Right. Our average order is 59 something. That's sports. I know it's not as good as a preschool photographer or dance photographer, but for sports only, that's a good average order, Yeah,
it's really good. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, they have to, my competitor has to sell 4 packages to my one to get the same amount of revenue. So I know they can't, the economics don't work out. They can't hire a great photographer.
Well, they got to sell more than that, because they got to cover the free plaques and the 30% rebate. They got to sell 15 packages to make your 4.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll show it again. Do you want to see it again?
No, I don't ever want to look at that again. It was hideous.
So anyhow, I want to show you another photo because James Quantz, our buddy James, he got featured on F-Stoppers. Did you see that? I
just was watching that when you called me. I was literally in the middle of watching that video. Yeah.
So James Quantz, you guys, I'm sure everybody knows James, but he came out with his Pro Light mods. He had a little problem with shipping in the beginning, but now everything's out. And F-Stoppers, if y'all don't know who F-Stoppers is, you need to watch all that. It's good stuff. They have a lot of good reviews, a lot of good information, and they do great videos. And so they feature James, and James is a photographer like us, except he's freaking awesome. And he does NBA, NHL, all that sort of stuff. So feel good about buying his product if you want to get it, because he's just a normal guy. And he's been on the Beard and the Boat. And let's see, I had one that I really like.
He's more than normal. His pictures are incredible. He's an incredible photographer.
Yeah, he's ridiculous. But I was just kind of experimenting with this because I haven't got a chance to really use it on a big shoot because, like my normal self, I got the wrong softboxes. So
he's got a list of exactly which ones to buy, and you bought the wrong one.
I know.
How do you do that?
I told him to send me a size, and I thought it was the size softbox I had, and I just messed it up. So yeah, so I messed it up like usual. Let's see here. Can you see my screen? Give me a second.
Thank God.
Let's see. Oh, see, share screen. Here we go. You have to look at it again. Check out that one.
Yeah.
Right? It's just cool the way I just built the bank of octos around. So I'm excited to kind of experiment with it, maybe get some other ones, some 3x4s. But I just was trying to figure out what would be a cool way to do it. But good way to do the profile,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, like that. I wish the floor was black.
Yeah. But that's kind of the colors, like the blue and red. So it worked out pretty good. But
no, it's cool.
Yeah, I would definitely, if you guys are on the fence about those Pro Light mods, go ahead and get them. Watch that video on F-Stoppers because I'm sure they did a good job.
I haven't finished it yet. I only got halfway through it, and then you interrupted me.
Let's see. Is there anything else? Like I'm looking. I don't know if there's any other.
Nobody's commented else.
Questions.
The pitchforks aren't out right now. They all got put away.
Yeah. Let's see.
There was some fire though. There was angry mobs on every volume page.
Yes. Yeah, there was. And the thing that just upsets me, gets me fired up, is when people start lying. I have resources. You don't have no resources. You have no resources. You barely have a toe in the business. Tell me you got resources. Give me a break. Put your shirt on. That was bad. That was the inside joke. It was a good one. It was a damn good one. All right. Let's see if who I thought who had a great response. I got to go back and look at it, but I thought that of course Calvin. I mean, he's a wordsmith. Let's see here. See if I can find it. But I think he had kind of a really great response to the whole thing. But I don't know. I don't feel like looking at all the I've done good to not look at all the stuff. But let's see.
Some of it will just fire you up too.
Yeah.
It's crazy how mad I was getting at some of the stuff today. What I will say this, one of the things trying to throw everybody under the bus earlier today, I don't remember who it was exactly, but somebody was like, where's all the trailblazers at? They're awful quiet, blah, blah, blah. You know what? We don't have all the information. We're not going to just start blurting stuff out when we don't know. That's why this thing got blown out of proportion. Everybody started blurting stuff out and didn't know anything about anything. Right. So why would we jump in if we don't know? Like, we're not going to try and stir the pot.
Something really bothering me. It's a really bad practice to go out to social media and start firing away immediately.
It's the worst idea ever. I hate social media for that specific reason.
That'll get you in trouble.
I've spent hours just in my local community putting out fires like that when pitchforks came out on like local garage sale pages. And pretty soon I'm 4 hours into talking and 700 comments. I've got a couple of those. That's happened a couple of times in my career, just in my business, trying to defend myself against angry mobs. And it is a horrible place to be in. Horrible place to be in.
Well, I mean, we got some stuff. We got bad reviews on Google, and we're like, we try to even look up the customer. They never ordered anything. Like, it's just anyway, I found Calvin's post. Okay. So Calvin says Photoday from its inception has provided a tool that has allowed innumerous, although I'm sure they know the numbers, opportunities for individual organizations to sell products. They have shown their commitment to the industry in so many ways. That said, Photoday is a business. It was started as a business, and in the end, it will be a business whose survival is predicated on continual growth. We can all harbor the thought that the magic bullet will be exclusive, but in the world of technology, similar systems will evolve, whether internally by others or externally by other developers, right? Lifetouch is going to just make their own if they want to. They have the resources to do it. So can we talk about a different language? Photographers talk pictures and businesses talk money. As long as they continue to empower those identifying as independent, they have fulfilled their commitment for all. It may be a surprise to many, but it should not be and does not impugn their integrity. I mean, that's well said. I mean, he's right on.
Yeah, right on. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say like I wasn't frustrated at some point today about it, but I mean, but the reason I was upset about it was not knowing what comes next, right? The only time I kind of lose my train of thought, my thought process, when I don't know what's coming. I hate that. I hate not knowing. And when that happens, your mind starts doing weird stuff. And then you throw the worst word you can at me, like Lifetouch, and I'm going to lose it a little bit. That's just, I hate them.
Yeah. I mean, and you, like you said, like if you would name my competitor, I mean, I found out that my competitor was using Photoday. And then I found out they're using Richmond. You know what I'm saying? And I was at Richmond, and I was visiting Richmond's lab, and I saw their photos there.
And you could tell by how crappy they were.
I just knew it was them. We saw like their call center like had a bunch of my competitors' name because they're big.
Yeah.
They had a bunch of like a damn office for this particular company. So same lab, same platform, but I mean it just, I mean, if it pissed me off, I just try to do better,
Yeah.
And anyway, let's talk about this too, though, is they don't use Photoday anymore because their photos suck.
They couldn't sell them.
Right. So, I mean, I don't know, like I have a hard time believing that Lifetouch is going to be extremely successful using Photoday because their photos aren't any good.
Right.
Right. I mean, we know like that is like, yes, there are some photographers, like we have this thing on Photoday. It's called PD100, and it's a really cool app that they developed. Those of you don't know, but when you get an order that's $100 or over, you get a notification on your phone, and you can post that image to the Photo Day group. And the purpose of it is for everybody to see what a $100 order looks like. We can all share images like, okay, this pose is working, this pose isn't working, this is what the lighting looks like. Well, everybody's super proud of their photo PD 100s, you know. It's a lot of fun, but especially for people just getting on the system. But you'd be surprised at how bad some of them are, right?
That they still sell.
They still sell. But my thing is like, yes, they do still sell, but that's one order. Like, they're not going to consistently be able to do that week after week. It's just going to be that one mom that loves the photo. Maybe they just got lucky. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So even if it's a bad photo, but that's not going to insulate your business from the competition. You know, having badass images is going to help insulate your business. Even if you get a Photo Day 100 every so often, you know, you got to have them pretty regular. And
I mean,
have some.
I agree with that to a point. I have tried in the past to pick up schools based on quality of photos, and it didn't necessarily work in the school system
but there's a lot of service items with schools too.
Yeah. I mean, well, at the end of the day, I could not physically give back the amount of products monetarily. I could not compete. I could compete and blow them away in quality and customer service, but I could not compete with the give backs. And it cost me not being able to get a school one time for quite a while. I've got that school since then.
Right.
But it was, it really pissed me off. I was really hot about it because I just couldn't comprehend the fact that I'm selling a trinket that's so much shinier than the other trinket, and you just weren't having it no matter what. And so, I mean, that's proof of some of those PD100s, right? That you see that you're like, wow, okay, well, I mean, I guess everybody's going to buy these regardless, right? So
was that Justin's brilliant point, or whose brilliant point was that?
Probably not mine, but Jay. Oh yeah, it's Jay.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, Lifetouch sell photos. Wow, now they're all commenting.
Yeah, I don't know, Melissa. Like, maybe Photo Days is better. Maybe Lifetouch is antiquated and no good. I mean, the thing is, though, is everybody was competing on paper order forms 5 years ago, right? Mm-hmm. My thought is like, we never went into schools because of what Lifetouch was doing. Like it, and actually, the Lifetouch where my kids went to elementary school was pretty good. Like whoever was running it at that point, they were pretty good. The school photos were good, and they were sending home packets with every student, right? Do you remember those days?
Yeah.
And so we could never do that. We could never print that many photos. Like, they were like, we don't have the money to do that. We can't even get into that. That's why we didn't start there.
You know what, though? They couldn't either, because that old Lifetouch that was doing that doesn't exist anymore.
Right. So they're switching over to this. The thing is they were back then, we couldn't compete with them. But now, even if they're using Photo, we can still compete with them. It's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I feel like we're still everything is a level playing for them. But I still think we have the advantage because we do take better photos. You can use the platform all day long, but if you don't take good photos,
I don't know that I personally don't think we'll ever be on a level playing field with a company that can be that big. They've got since the 20s, right? You know, when they started.
Well, it depends on what you're after, though. Your business goals too, right?
Right.
I mean, is your business goal to take over the world? Is your business goal to make 100,000, 200,000, 500,000? What is your goal?
Every business is different in that aspect. 100%. Everybody.
Right.
Different.
So, I mean,
we all have different reasons.
Right. I mean, it's so that's the other thing is like, what is the ultimate goal? And like, really, if you sit down and think about it, how much is it going to affect your business? For me, it's zero. I'm not going to be affected by them at all. So, but at the same time, I didn't want to be, I mean, I know you compete with them directly. So I know that in the school business, there's some other things that I don't know about, but but I mean, I do have similar experiences dealing with big companies that offer huge rebates, as I proved.
Right. I just hate fighting the beast. They eat worlds when they want to. And that's what people are used to when they hear that name. So,
but the programs that end up going with Lifetouch, despite because they're taking money and they're
why would you want those anyway? Is the thing, right?
You don't want those schools. They sound like a nightmare to me. They're just going to be finicky, and they're going to be a pain in the ass, and they're never going to be happy. Like, you don't even want those customers. Like, not.
It's the truth. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't need. They're going to be like. And the thing is soon if you get them. Like, let's just say you Lifetouch got him, you got him back because you offered more. As soon as somebody offers 1 penny less, they're going to switch again. They have absolutely zero loyalty.
They're not your client.
I'm not going to spend all my effort. And then, those leagues are always the ones, like there's certain areas in the city we won't go because they want so much. And I'm like, why do I could literally go shoot 3 travel teams and make the same amount of money as your 70 teams because you're requiring me to do so much stuff. I don't even want you. Go ahead and go with the other guy. I don't even want you. Don't even need you. We're fine with what we're doing right here. So
100%.
Yeah. That's it.
I agree.
We say enough?
I think so. I don't know. Probably not. This was a big topic today. I think it's calmed down a little bit. I don't see everybody stoking the flame much anymore.
I mean, it's better than it was 2 years ago. 2 years ago was the problem.
Yeah.
2 years ago, right now, that was a real problem.
Yeah.
That got me scared. That kept me up at night. That worried.
And rightfully so. It hurt for a while. It hurt us worse than it hurt you.
It did me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's still I think we're still reeling from it out here a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you add inflation on top of coming out of that whole mess. Whew,
yes.
Baby.
Those are the things that really bother me is because, that is something that we truly can do nothing about. I don't know whether to let it bother me or not let me bother me because I can't do anything about it, but I can do something about Lifetouch being in my territory because I can just go be a better business person, better photographer, all those things. But it doesn't matter how good of a photographer I am. If we're going to pay $7 a gallon for gas and nobody can buy photos, that's the problem. If we have COVID and everybody shuts down, there's no leagues to shoot, no schools in session. That's the problem. We've been through that. And we're all talking. Obviously, all the people
we're not all the way through it. We're not all the way through it yet. Like, we're still trying to get our feet back under us now that, whatever normal is supposed to be again. We're trying to get back in the groove, and that groove isn't where it used to be. It's shifted. And so we're having to pivot still too. And, thank God for Photo Day to make that easier for us. Or
correct.
I still wouldn't do this. I would do something else if it was harder.
Man, I'm telling you, paper order forms was just, I don't know. I just hope you guys don't let this keep you up at night because first of all, it's not, all it is Lifetouch's user. That's all the information that we have. There's no anything past that. Nobody's looking at your records. Nobody's doing anything like that. So, we're going to be fine. It's going to be fine.
I mean, that was like the worst case scenario, right? Is like they're buying them and now they have all our info. That's like the worst possible thing that can happen.
They can't even do that though. Like, I think that
I can't imagine legally that would even be a thing that they could do.
They
but maybe
take a business's information. I would think that would be some sort of lawsuit happening. But I mean,
you bet that would be. I mean, all the small guys I think would actually band together at some point and be like, this ain't happening. You'd have to.
And at what point, the other question I have is at what point do you become not a small guy and you're a big guy and now you're a huge asshole, everything you do?
I don't know, but you're there.
I'm not a big guy.
When you're watching a guy dig your pool in your backyard, that's when. How's that?
Oh, that's great. But I just have a hard time with some complaining because we spent so many years broke and spending every bit of profit back into our business, like every piece, every bit. And I did action photography for 7-8 years in Georgia, shooting action photography. That is freaking hard. We had 3 little kids and we drug them everywhere, all across Georgia in hot weather. We just never stopped working. There was never any rest. It was nonstop. So I paid my dues. I did all the hard work. I did everything I had to do. I had not 1 ounce of photography. I had no idea what program mode was, what aperture was, what anything was. Just like Justin.
A piece for professional. It's for professional.
Yeah, we had no idea. No idea. All we had to do, we had to bust our ass. And that's what we did to get to the point. And now there's been a lot of crazy stuff that happened between now and then, I think helps deal with this kind of stuff. It's like, all right, it's just another day. Everything's going to be fine. Have some experience. We've gone through some hard times before. But I don't necessarily want to be looked at as the big company, because we started with such small, at such small beginnings, no experience. We really built up to, so I still want to feel like the underdog,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, once you get comfortable and complacent, you'll lose it fast. So.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I still shoot floating team shots from what you told me.
God dang, those were hideous. Don't ever.
Look, the stats were good.
The stats were clean. They were clean. I mean, if we're going to sandwich
I'm not a compositor. The Smax Photography doesn't do composites.
Everything's composite. No, they can't. No, they can't.
Yeah.
Just leave the feet out. Just leave the feet out. That's all you had to do. Crop in. Pull them up a little bit.
Next time we get them. When we use these James Quantz things for group indoor photos, that's what I want to do.
It's going to be awesome. I mean, yeah, that's going to be cool.
Oh, you like the bank?
I love it. I love it.
It's going to be good. We're going to experiment with those in Denver and see what we can come up with.
I have the 3x4s, and then I wanted the 1x3s to put at an angle to make the bank look a little different. But they didn't. The 1x3s, I think, had a problem, so they never came out. But
so we'll get those. We'll get 3x4s and 1x3s, and I've got the 2x3s, and we'll experiment with them and see what we can do and build a team shot out of it. I think it'll be awesome.
It'll be cool. Super cool.
All right. I gotta go to bed. I gotta make sure Karina's not drinking too much wine. She's down there drinking wine
by herself. You're not supposed to drink by yourself, Karina.
Yeah.
Lisa probably is. Probably texting. I think Lisa
all her photography friends. They're all texting right now.
Angry.
So, yeah,
they're probably texting how good I look. It's fine. All right.
Okay. Let's see. Hold on. You're right where you back then, Jay. Okay. No, I agree. But what I'm trying to say is that some people treat us as the big company, like we weren't just selling 20,000 a year at one point in our career. Like we had no hope. We had no business starting this company. I had no business.
You were one of those. You were one of the ones that everybody hated starting.
Oh, like, yeah. If there had been Facebook now and I came up with a question and I would ask where were lights set up, people would just,
they just
post a photo and they'd be like, why is your camera set up? I mean, yeah, I would have got bombarded, But I'm saying if you are in that situation, if you are just starting off, that this isn't going to affect you. As long as you work hard and you're improving your craft and you build good relationships. You have to build good relationships. So that way you get a heads up. Like all of my customers that we had, even when our photography wasn't, as honed as it is now, if we had another company bidding, they would tell us and they would send us the bid. Like we had a good enough relationship to where they would let us know if we had competition coming. And that doesn't
be like up your game or we're leaving. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's just building relationships and you still have to do those things. So don't be discouraged if Lifetouch is using Photoday. That should not affect your business if you're big or small at all.
It's just such a bad word, Lifetouch.
Yeah.
It's all right. Maybe they change their name to Meta Universe or something. We still use Facebook.
All right. I will. I'll call you tomorrow.
Go shower. You look dirty.
Yeah, I didn't even. I just came. Shoot, I didn't shave or anything. Terrible.
Me either. I didn't either. It's fine.
Well, you didn't shave. Is that what you said?
I've been thinking about getting a haircut. I might have shorter hair in Denver. We'll see.
It's gonna be hot. Having all that.
This insulates. Everybody thinks you get warm in this. It just insulates. It's fine. Works both ways.
All right. Good talk.
See you later.
All right.
Bye.